Hello everyone out there, how are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, bringing you the best and unbiased and honest content on property, along with fantastic hints and tips. Stay tuned today for all your latest property news. One of the core reasons the national shortage of properties is so serious is that it coincides with this record increase in Australia's population. The latest data shows that Australia's population grew 651,000 people in 2023, which is the highest number in the nation's history, and 84% of that growth was attributed to overseas migration. The record level of population growth last year did not cause the shortage of dwellings, including the undersupply of rental homes. The seeds of that shortage, as we all know and I've been talking about for years, were sown years earlier by bad government policies and have been exacerbated by bad governance ever since. But that very high level of population growth last year has made a serious problem more dire. Australia now has a population of 27 million, up 2.5% in 2023. All states and territories recorded population growth last year, although many were net losers of population to interstate migration. It was overseas migration and natural increases that allowed the weakest jurisdictions to record increases despite losing population from people leaving to live elsewhere in Australia. Some of the winners on population growth include Victoria had the highest increase in population numbers, increasing by 186,000 people. Queensland had by far the largest net gain from interstate migration and overall added 141,000 people to its population. Western Australia recorded the biggest population increase in percentage terms last year because it rose 3.3%, followed by Victoria 2.78, Queensland 2.62. New South Wales made the biggest gains from overseas migration but was the biggest net loser from internal migration. The growth of Australian property values continues, with the latest figures showing an almost 8% increase in the past financial year. According to CoreLogic, that means values are up by about $58,000 in the past 12 months to $794,000. On a quarterly basis, housing values are up by 1.8%, similar to results in the March quarter 1.9%, December quarter 1.8%. PropTrack says that national home prices reached a new peak in June, marking 18 months of consecutive increases. It uses a different methodology to CoreLogic and says that house prices increased nationally by 0.15% to $854,000 to the month of June. According to PropTrack, capital city markets were stronger, up 0.2%, compared to regional areas, which are up by 0.02%. It says the unit market continues to perform really well, with price growth of 0.32% across the combined capital cities and 0.34% in regional areas during the month. PropTrack senior economist says national home prices have cycled through 18 consecutive months of growth to hit a fresh peak in June, despite the pace of growth slowing as winter begins. They say although the number of homes hitting the market this year has lifted a bit, strong population growth, tight rental markets and home equity gains continue to bolster demand, they said. CoreLogic says there is persistent growth despite an array of risks, including high interest rates, cost of living pressures, affordability challenges and tight credit policies. The housing market, they say, resilience comes back to tight supply levels, which are keeping upward pressure on values, they said. Buyers are continuing to target the Perth market, despite many analysts expressing concerns that it has reached its peak. The Commonwealth Bank's State and Territory Quarterly Perspective Report from June 24 says that WA recorded the strongest total lending in the past 12 months, which was up by 39%, with investor lending also up by 70%. New South Wales was next, with total lending up 31%, Queensland up 28%, Victoria 17%, the ACT 9%, Tasmania 0.2%. The report says investor lending is also strong in Queensland at 46%, South Australia 44%, New South Wales 43%. In Victoria, which introduced those higher land taxes for investors last year, investor lending was up by 16%, which is the weakest level in Australia. And I think most of us know what that's going to do to the rental market there eventually. The report says that despite recent demand and price increases, Perth's housing market remains more affordable than other capital cities. It also says that affordability has improved in Melbourne as it has built more homes than other states and has higher levels of property listings. Price growth in Brisbane led the report to label it as the second worst in the country, behind Sydney in terms of affordability. Affordability also eased off in parts of Adelaide, with homes more expensive to buy relative to income than in Melbourne. Regional house prices are expected to hit record highs in almost all parts of Australia in the next 12 months, according to analysis by Domain. And you all know how much I love a good prediction by people, analysts, or companies who just want to get great media coverage. However, here we go. Domain's financial year 2025 price forecast report predicts Queensland's Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast will achieve the strongest growth and will become the most expensive regional housing markets in Australia. It's hard to think about them being regional, really, isn't it? It predicts that the Gold Coast will grow by between 3 and 6%, and the Sunny Coast will grow by between 2 and 5%. Regional Queensland is predicted to grow by between 2 and 4% overall. Regional New South Wales up to about 3%. Regional Victoria predicted to drop between 0 and 3%. Domain chief researcher says that regional house prices in New South Wales and Queensland would improve the most in large regional towns, such as Tamworth, and satellite towns of the major cities, such as Wollongong and Newcastle. Oh, jeez. I could have told you that, and I could have told you that consistently over the 10 years. This is not news. Apparently, ongoing undersupply will continue to drive these markets. Taxation changes in Victoria impacted that market and are still impacting that market. And then a lot of investors are looking elsewhere, which is a shame because it's a great capital growth area. I'm going to keep you posted on all things property from around Australia. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you are enjoying the free content. I will see you all soon. Bye.